So I want to start off by sharing a little story with y'all. And the reason why I made this video today. Yesterday I went to the hospital to visit my cousin who was laying up in the hospital because he had a heart attack. When I got to the hospital, I peeked into the room and the person I saw laying in the bed didn't look like my cousin. So I asked the technician who was inside the room, I said, I called his name, I said, do you know what room is Anderson in? And he said, he looked around, he said, well, this is Anderson here. And so I didn't want to see him in the condition that he was in because I heard about the condition that he was in, and I didn't want to see him. I was really just going there to show my support and be there for my aunt and my cousins. So when I got there, the only person in the room besides my cousin was the technician. So I was looking for my family, but they wasn't there. So when he told me that's Anderson, I had to take a peek to make sure. And when I looked and saw him, I was floored. This is a 48, 49-year-old man, and he's on life support because he had a heart attack. Now, that really threw me off because we grew up together. And I'm also seeing a lot of people my age and even younger dying, like early, from health-related issues. So this made me want to really address this issue. I know we oftentimes get caught up in the rigors of life. We working, we got to deal with our kids. We got obligations at home. We're trying to take care of our spouses, and we're trying to do everything. And a lot of times we take care of everybody but ourselves. And it just don't make a whole lot of sense to take care of everybody else and kill yourself in the process. It don't make a whole lot of sense to me to work yourself to death. That makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to go out there and put in 30 years on a job, 30, 40 years on a job and die, or spend all that money that you made giving it back to the doctors because you have all these ailments that are related to the work and the stress that you took in behind your work and all your other obligations in life. So I'm real big on health. I'm real big on what kind of food that I eat. I'm big on exercise and working out and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to do this video and share this with y'all. Hopefully I can save a life. Maybe even just remind you guys. Some of y'all already know this, but sometimes you got to be reminded. So I came across this article from Stephen G. Jones, MD, a doctor who decided that he was going to put out a report and try to save some lives himself. And this is kind of how it went. And I'm going to say this too. We're living in an age where we're living a lot longer than we used to. Back in the 1900s, the average life expectancy was 46 years. Today, that number is closer to 80. And, not everybody looks their age. Some 60-year-olds look 40. Some 40-year-olds look 60. And that has a direct relation to how we decide that we want to live our lives. Now, this is what the good doctor had to say about how to extend your life and be healthy and age properly. He said that there are 3 determining factors on how we age: genetics, environment, and our lifestyle. Now, while we can't choose who our parents are, which is where we get our genes from, we can choose our environment, we have some control over our environment and our lifestyle. With that in mind, here are the 10 tips that he gave that could help you to maximize your longevity and quality of life. Control your stress. Whew, this is a big one right here. And I know some people who can't get out of their way, and everything is a crisis when it comes to trying to manage their stress levels. And for me, I mastered this years ago because I realized how many people died from. Yeah, so the way I operate is that I really do use that old saying, that old quote that says, Lord, give me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the strength to change things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And so when I can't change certain things, I just don't get caught up in it. I really don't get caught up at all. I just let it go. I do the best that I can on a particular day. I go to sleep, then I wake up and I try it again. And oftentimes, nothing that I've ever experienced that I thought was a crisis or something that I couldn't get over was something that I actually couldn't get over. It may have been a crisis, but I was always able to get through it. And you look back on it, y'all had experiences in your own lives where you can look back on things and you say, man, I don't know how I got through it, but I did. Okay, so the second thing he said is manage your blood pressure. Hypertension is very common in our society. And high blood pressure can do real damage to your body and place you at an increased risk for stroke and vascular disease. That's big. So manage your high blood pressure. Get checked up. Manage your blood pressure and get your checkups often. Okay, number 3, many of us, we already know this, but don't smoke. Don't smoke. He said that almost all of us understand that smoking causes significant heart and lung disease. We understand this, but we do it anyway. Now, we understand that it causes heart and lung disease, but a lot of us don't understand that it also is a major contributor to aging, and it does a lot of damage to your skin. So I ain't trying to tell you what to do, but don't smoke. Okay, number 4, get you some sleep. The doc says sleep has a profound effect on our overall health. Even more fascinating is that its importance for maintaining a healthy memory. I can attest to that. I can definitely relate to that part because I do a lot of writing and I can't write when my brain is fried. Like after I've been up for a certain amount of hours and I'm tired, I'm weary, I have to get some sleep. And when I sleep and I wake up, I'm at my optimum. When I wake up, my ideas are fresh. I don't have all these tabs open in my head and I'm ready to go and ideas are just flowing. So I can definitely relate to that part. And I know a lot of y'all like y'all sleep. Some of y'all ain't got no problem with sleep, and that ain't even got nothing to do with being healthy. Some of y'all are just lazy. Yeah. Okay. So maintain good nutrition. The doctor says, eat the foods you love, but be smart about portions. Most importantly, eat a varied diet that includes lots of vegetables and fruits. Now, again, many of us know this already. So I'm just reminding you, that's all. Exercise your body. Move, just move. He says that if you want to keep your muscles and your bones young, it means using them. Find an activity that you enjoy. So basically, if you don't like being on a treadmill and you trying to be on a treadmill just because you trying to lose weight or be healthy, get your heart pumping and all that stuff. Look, listen, man, get the blood flowing to the heart properly and the brain properly. Look. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work if you don't enjoy doing it. Find something that you really enjoy doing it and do that. Some kind of movement. I don't care if it's walking, but move that body. Move that body. Get the muscles to move it. You know, if you don't like getting out of the house, stand up in the house and just pace around. Just pace. But don't worry. Some of y'all gonna try to pace and worry. Don't worry. But pace. Just move around. Get that body to moving. All right? This is another big one. Stay positive. You have a choice with how you see everything in life, including yourself. Now that goes back to that glass being half full or empty. A lot of people that think negatively, if that glass is halfway, has water in it to the halfway mark, they often look at it as being half full. I mean, half empty, as opposed to being half full. And so that's the way I look at life myself, man. I look at everything, like I look at that glass like it's half full. You know, if you're stuck in traffic and you experience an anxiety attack because you missed that light, you gotta wait an extra 10 minutes, 15 minutes, even 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever it is, and you losing your mind. Losing your mind is not going to make that traffic flow any faster. It's not going to make it flow any fluently. So the best thing that you can do is find something to occupy your mind while you're stuck in that traffic. Meditate, pray, turn the radio on. These are suggestions that were made by the doctor. Okay? Number 9, maintain close relationships. The hurt of loneliness and isolation goes beyond emotional pain. It is terrible for our health. It is so important to have others around us. Things, of course, change as we age. Children move away. We sometimes lose friends, but we can go out and meet new people. Stay involved, take classes, volunteer. That's some good advice. That's a good advice, because sometimes when you're lonely, you tend to just kind of like just fold in and you become antisocial, and you actually end up doing more harm to your body than good. I remember I was at that point early in my like late 20s, and I'm talking about like I experienced that for like 5 years. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to do nothing. I didn't want to be around people. I only dealt with the people that I knew in my circle. And one day I woke up and I was like, man, I've been like a managing manic depression for the last 4 or 5 years. And I just said, you know what? I got to start living. And I got back to living. So maintain close relationships. Now, this is another one that, this is another big one. And most people that are motivational speakers and people who are highly successful, they will tell you this: be spiritual. Now, that means meditation, prayer, or just sitting in peaceful silence. Just be spiritual. So hopefully with that information I gave y'all something that y'all can use and even pass along, man. Share this video with as many people as you can. Let's try to save some lives. Hey, man, get in touch with yourself. But don't touch yourself unless you have no one else to touch. No more talk, man.